Hey everyone, welcome to the ATD movie blog on YouTube. Tonight was the world premiere of the Spider-Man Homecoming movie trailer. Let's take a look at it together, see what we can find, and discuss. Obviously, the movie looks like it's going to take place in New York City. They established that pretty quickly. And I thought this was kind of interesting. It looks like a really high-tech way to steal an ATM machine. And this might be a throwaway scene in most movies, but I think what the movie is trying to establish is that this character, Spider-Man, takes place within the same universe as the already established Marvel Cinematic Universe. You can see the thug there wearing the Iron Man face mask, and another second or so, you're going to see the rest of the face masks on these guys. It's kind of a cute scene. I mean, they're establishing again that this character is in the same universe as the other Marvel characters and, throwing in some humor as well. Now, I'm going to focus on this for just 1 second. I know this is a big deal to a lot of people, but it looks like they went with the Spider-Man that actually does have the web slingers on his wrist. It is not organic like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies starring Tobey Maguire. I never personally thought it was a big deal, but then again, I didn't grow up reading Spider-Man comic books or anything like that, so I know that the hardcore fans are really looking forward to this. This is kind of easy to miss, but you can see the eyes are retractable on the costume, and I love how he's so proud of himself. And I'll just spend 1 quick second on this, but it is a Sony Pictures film. They own the rights to the Spider-Man character in terms of the films, and this is a Marvel incarnation of the character, but the movie is being released by Sony. I think it's important to note that. I got a kick out of this. I think it's funny. They establish right off the top that this is a kid in high school. He's obviously socially awkward. Just from this scene alone, you can tell he doesn't have a ton of friends, but I love the setup on this. And there he is. There is Robert Downey Jr. playing Tony Stark, Iron Man, in a Sony Pictures film starring Spider-Man. So that's the setup. That is the deal, the agreement that they made with each other. I love how Tony Stark's advice is confusing him here in this exchange. And in true Tony Stark fashion, he's just kicking him out of the car. He's not giving him a hug. I love that. Again, another establishing shot that he's in high school and he's just a teenager. This is a very young incarnation of the character. I don't think anybody bought that Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield from the Amazing Spider-Man films. I don't think anyone bought that either of those actors were in high school when those films took place. And the only thing I want to point out here is it looks like he's obviously watching a YouTube video of the showdown in the film Captain America Civil War. So that was the premiere of the character. And I just got a kick out of this because it's obvious that this is a new generation. At school, on a laptop, he's watching a YouTube video instead of paying attention to class. Some of us older guys, I mean, this was really sort of like the equivalent of reading a comic book during English class. And here you'll notice a few slick action scenes. It's kind of cool. And there is the premiere of the villain for this film, which has been written about and documented. It's going to definitely be Vulture, a very popular character from the comic books. Again, they're drilling it in the audience's face that this is a kid. He is a teenager trying to do extraordinary things. We'll see how that plays out. I'm not exactly sure if that's going to work or not. Again, 2 franchises have tried it. In my opinion, it didn't work, but we'll see. And if the hardcore fans thought that the web slingers were a big deal, this is a super big deal. Now, you could tell with this suit and this version of the suit that the filmmakers are going with, they have the wings. And I know that harkens back to some of the older comic book incarnations. So it looks like it should assist him in some gliding. We're not really sure. All it shows is him jumping up and over this helicopter. So we'll have to see how that plays out. And I know it's only a split second, but in this scene you can see Donald Glover, who's been confirmed for the movie for a while now. But what's interesting about his appearance in the trailer is for a long time people were campaigning to have him play the African-American version of Spider-Man in the most recent comic book run, Miles Morales. So it's interesting that he got cast, and we'll have to wait and see what character he plays because on IMDb it's not listed. And I know it's only for half a second or so, but you can see the Spider-Man character in the suit before the one that Tony Stark gives him. So this must be towards the beginning of the timeline of Peter Parker's transition into playing the Spider-Man character. And then, of course, the premiere of one of my favorite character actors of all time, Michael Keaton. And, it's kind of interesting. He played Batman, obviously, in the 1989 version from Tim Burton. But then, obviously, he was nominated for an Oscar, I think it's 2 years ago now, for Birdman. And here he is, rumored to play the main villain, Vulture, in Spider-Man Homecoming. So, full circle, I guess. We get a shot of Marissa Tomei playing Aunt May, which of course is the character that brought up Peter Parker after his parents' demise. And here we get sort of a cool shot, not just referencing Spider-Man's powers in this cinematic universe. It's pretty symbolic. I mean, you got the cruise ship, the ferry splitting in half. He looks like a savior. I know DC gets criticized quite a bit for taking that angle on their Superman character, but I don't think it's very different than what we're seeing here. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something I noticed when watching this trailer. And then I never thought it was a big deal, but nobody seemed to like the font when the logo came out a few months ago. But I think it's interesting. It sort of harkens back to a younger crowd, a younger group. It's not so refined. It's not so perfect. And I think that lends itself to a teenage character. And then obviously the money shot with Spider-Man and Iron Man swinging through the screen. I thought that was a really nice touch. Again, reiterating the fact that Iron Man is in this film, but it is going to be released by Sony. So that is it, folks. That is the premiere to the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer. Hope you enjoyed taking a look at it together. Go ahead and click a thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe, leave a comment. You can also find us on Twitter at ATDmovie. And we have a Facebook group where a bunch of us talk movies and chat about all the news that's coming out in the world of film. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you guys soon.